Lie number 12, there is such a thing as a master knife fighter. I mean, what is a master knife fighter?
Someone who is better with knives than most other people.
That's what I would say. So yeah, if there would definitely be master knife fighters. This thing says here, if we knife fight enough with real knives, we'll either end up permanently disabled and thus no longer in possession of master skills, dead, or in jail. I mean,
well, then that
do you have to go around having knife fight after knife fight after knife fight to be a master knife fighter?
No.
I mean, was Miyamoto Musashi a master knife fighter?
I would think he was.
A ninja who had, you know, like 100 knife fights and never died? You know? So yeah, obviously there is such a thing as a master knife fighter. I wouldn't go up to Miyamoto Musashi and say, "Sir, you are not a master knife fighter."
Well, then he's
you can kill most people who have a samurai sword, who have fought with samurai swords their whole life, and you can kill them with just a stick in your hand. But you're not a master knife fighter.
Right.
Oh, please. Okay, nowadays are there many master knife fighters like that? No.
No.
You know, not that I know of. I mean, there might be one in Somalia somewhere, you know, some outpost like that, you know, where he just goes around knife fighting for his life. But that doesn't mean you have to be that to be a master knife fighter.
Right.
I mean, are there masters in karate? I mean, yes, you actually get a belt and you have the master level. And I've met some of these masters who, again, can't fight their way out of a paper sack when it comes to a real fight, or even karate point fighting. They just, you know, just can't do it.
They know how to teach. They're teachers.
But I would still, they've been given the title of master.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, could there be master knife fighters? Yes, they're all over the place. If you've worked at something and you have mastered a skill, you know, you're ready to roll.
Yeah.
The only thing is, you don't want to run into another master when you're knife fighting.
Yeah.
Because then you have this problem. Permanently disabled, dead, or in jail.
Right.
Jail wouldn't really count there. But so anyways, I don't consider that a lie. You certainly can become a master knife fighter. Okay, lie number 13. That this is a fight at all lie. Yeah, it's not a fight. It's a life and death struggle. The person with the best combination of technique and will to use and will to survive and to be able to use it in the most lethal manner, that's the person who's going to survive this life and death struggle. And again, there still is a luck factor. Let's see. Expect to get cut lie. Okay, we do say expect to get cut. And we don't consider this a lie. Expect to get cut. Again, there's no guarantees. Trade a cut for a kill and nothing else. Hanging back and trying to catch a fast-moving blade is one of the best ways to make this a self-fulfilling prophecy. Get R, if X happens, I will do Y going, and as soon as contact interval is reached, we do everything we can to dictate the action and overwhelm the threat. Maybe we won't get touched. So expect to get cut.
Well, how is that a lie if it's that? That's like an opinion. You know, that's not a fact. It's...
Well, expect to get cut.
That's a mindset, though. That's not really a lie.
Is it? Yeah, and I agree. I don't.
It's not. It's true
I don't
or
think it's a
false.
lie. I don't think it's a lie.
Yeah.
Expect to get cut. How can you say it's a lie?
Yeah, it's not true or false. It's just there.
I mean, you have to expect to get cut in a knife fight.
Yeah.
I mean, now, if you have huge skills and you are able to avoid people and stuff like that, you have less chances of... You have a lower expectancy of getting cut.
Right.
Okay? And again, if you're a knife fighting master, you may have the expectancy of not getting cut in a knife fight. Okay? Now, that might be a lie there, because you still have to expect to get cut. So that's what I'm saying. Whoever came up with these lies, I definitely don't agree with. Expect to get cut is a lie? No, you better expect to get cut. Or you better not get in a knife fight.
Right.
You know, and again, is it a knife fight? No, it's not a knife fight in the first place. It's a life and death struggle. But in a life and death struggle, can you expect to get cut? Well, you can expect anything to happen in a life and death struggle.
Yeah.
You better be the most highly prepared guy if you want to make sure that you are going to have the greatest expectation of not getting cut and surviving. I mean, so, you know, I don't understand.
I think a lot of these are just void.
Yeah, and again, this one says, the FMA are the ultimate knife fighting system. That's a lie. I mean, FMA has some great knife fighting systems. You know, are they the ultimate? what it comes down to is not the system. It comes down to the practitioner.
Right.
That's what it comes down to, the practitioner. I mean, if you do nothing but learn how to parry and thrust, and you practice that and practice that and practice that against every different style you can see, and you figure out how to make it work almost all the time, you know, that could become the ultimate knife fighting system. So it's really systems. Systems are a way of organizing, you know, what you're teaching and make it easy to follow.
Yeah.
But is there one ultimate knife fighting system? No. If you think that you have an ultimate knife fighting system, and again, our knife fighting system, what is it? Well, I use FMA. We use Don Pentecost stuff. You know, we do a little bit of almost sword fighting stuff with some of our parrying and that type of stuff. So we bring in as much as we can into this system and use it all. I'm not just going to put on blinders and say my system's the best, my system's the best, my system's the best. I mean, I'm trying to keep things as wide as possible. And if I see something tonight that looks good, I'm going to find a place to put it in my system.
Right.
And I'm going to work on it next time I go through it, you know. Okay, so anyways, line number 16. This is definitely a lie. It's easy to disarm an armed opponent. Again, this is like the trapping and stripping of a weapon. It's just very hard to do when this guy's not playing. I'm not saying it can't be done, but I'm saying if you think you're just going to go in there and get it done and expect to not get cut, you're highly deceiving yourself about reality. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this stuff is very hard to do. And once somebody gets cut or somebody is sweating, it becomes doubly hard to do. And once this guy is stronger or faster than you, it becomes quadruply hard to do. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in the time that you're playing around with his hand with his knife, could have you gotten 2 fingers in his eyes, it would have been much more effective. Much more effective. Especially when he's so focused on his knife. It's going to be easy to get those fingers in his knife. You got to get that first block off though.
Right.
You know? And then you get those fingers in the eyes. And again, that's movement, staying off the ground, getting to the side where he's going to have a harder time getting to you. He's got to turn towards you, and in that little split second, you've got lots of time to reach out and touch his eye. Okay, number 17. We can successfully fight an armed attacker.
Lie.
That's a lie. We can't stand there and engage in a long, drawn-out contest with an armed threat. If we try, we will lose. It is just a function of time. We can only attempt to get past him by trying to put him down and or then escaping.
And we wouldn't consider that a fight. That's just a quick get it done and that and go.
Yeah, again, you know, anytime you're using the word fight, I understand where the fight comes from. You have to use some kind of word to describe what you're doing.
Yeah.
We're fighting, okay? Is it really a fight? No. And you see a little bit of that, like when we were doing that stuff the other day. It became much more aggressive. It became much more just, you know, a survival thing. You know, who's going to poke who first?
Yeah.
You know, it became just a, and again, it was a fight, but it was a fight to see who could poke the other guy first.
Right.
And really, it was just a struggle to survive. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. You know, when you force 2 skilled fighters to just come into a clash and try to kill each other. A fight is hardly what I would describe it as. Okay, so drills teach us how to knife fight. Lie. Again, how else am I going to learn knife fight if I don't do drills, right? I don't understand how anybody would consider that a lie. This is not a lie. Drills work fine if they are practiced against another person in realistic scenarios. This is the key point. How realistic is the drill? How realistic is the scenario? Okay. The key being realistic. Maybe some people consider sparring and contact drills as a separate entity from regular drills. Okay, drills can in fact be what some people consider sparring. We're getting ready to do what would look like sparring, and that is a drill in my class. You know, that type of stuff. So again, your drills have to be realistic. Now, if you're just talking about going in the air and doing drills, okay, well, when the guy comes, slash, okay, ready, and slash. Okay, and slash. Okay, okay. Now you're ready for when a guy comes at you because you practice his drill.
Yeah.
If that's what your drill is, your drill sucks.
That's a drill in like a big classroom with a bunch of people, but this is more one-on-one.
Right, and again, it doesn't matter how big the classroom is. You just break them up into small groups and have them do the proper drills. The thing should be, bad drills teach us how to knife fight, or unrealistic drills teach us how to knife fight. Now that's a lie, but realistic drills performed in a realistic fashion, you know, using the realities of a real knife fight, those drills are going to completely teach you how to knife fight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how else do you learn a knife fight? What are you saying? The only way I can learn a knife fight is by grabbing a knife and getting in a ring with another guy with a real knife? That's only... I mean, well, that wouldn't be a drill. Well, it could be a drill. That's what my school was.
Yeah.
We're doing some drills now. Everybody get a real knife.
That's what.
I need one liney over here, one liney over here.
That's what the guy teaches with the wave cap. What's his name? The dude in Australia, I think his name is.
Oh, Jesus.
So use a real knife. Luke Holloway.
Yeah.
Use a real knife.
Yeah. Okay, so
It's
anyways,
not a terrible idea as long as you've got people that are willing to get cut.
yeah, I mean in the gladiator days,
Yeah, you learn respect for that weapon.
that's
real
your
quick.
drill. We're gonna do some drills today. Life or death drill. I mean, that's how you teach. That's a drill. Just drop that knife from one hand to the other. You got to have that one ready.
It's my special move.
Because when this guy traps this hand, and we're in the middle of a fight, I'm going to be able to just stand still and drop my knife from this hand, catch it with this hand, and then stab you here because you're still holding this hand here.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're going to do. You're just going to hold this hand. Because only I'm clever enough.
Right.
Because I'm Luke Holloway. Only I'm clever enough to know that I'm going to drop the knife and catch it with this hand and then stab you.
Yeah.
Only I, Luke Holloway, or my students
Right.
can get away with this technique. Because I'm teaching realistic knife fighting. That's another guy who really needs to meet a thug who spent some time in hard lockup and has, you know, had a chance to practice his system. That's the kind of guy that needs to run across Luke Holloway. Again, to cull the herd. I mean, we're talking about Darwin.
Yeah.
The Darwin Awards. Now, these are guys that deserve Darwin Awards. But they just haven't been in the situation. Probably because they're freaking scared shitless. And do everything to avoid that type of shit. And all they want to do is look at me, I'm scary, I'm scary, I'm scary. I'm scary, I'm scary, I'm scary. I'm scary, I'm scary, I'm scary. Stay away from me, I'm scary. You know? Like me, what do I think about all day? I think about I would love that fucking dog to jump over the fence. The fence is not that high. The fence is not that high.
No.
Jump over the fence and come over here and bark at me.
Kind of high. Just angry because somebody abused him.
I think he's just angry. I don't know what's wrong with that dog. I don't know what's wrong. He barks a lot. He's always like, he's like Luke Holloway. I'm scary, I'm scary, I'm scary. I'm scary, I'm scary, I'm scary. Luke Holloway, I would have to say, has never had a real knife fight. Because nobody who has had a real knife fight could possibly think that any of that shit would work in a real knife fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm scary, I'm scary, I'm scary though. Don't challenge me on whether I've had a real knife fight. I'm scary, I'm scary. I'm scary. Stand down, I'm scary.
I'm only scared of you when you're really in front of me.
So anyways. Okay, we can use a knife on another human being without legal repercussions lie. I'm looking at, did I finish reading the one above there? I did read the whole one above there, right?
I never know how to speak.
Okay, so anyways, again, I wanted to say, drills can in fact be what some people consider sparring. So, you know, it all depends on your concept of drills. You know, if drills are kata, then you're not really going to learn a knife fight. Your drills have to be realistic. They have to have interaction with another person knife fighting in a realistic fashion. So anyways, 19. We can use a knife on another human being without legal repercussions. You probably can't. I'm going to say that, you know, this is definitely a lie. We can use a knife on another human being without legal. I mean, if you cut somebody up, okay, unless that person was just a criminal, a professional criminal who knows that he was doing something so wrong that he cannot come back and press charge on you without charges being pressed against himself, and he doesn't want charges pressed against himself. This is like the bank robber who gets shot. If you shoot a bank robber, you can probably shoot him without legal repercussions. Okay, as long as nobody saw,
Yeah.
or anybody who did see doesn't care to report it, you know. So yeah, this is definitely probably a lie. I mean, you just can't use a knife on another human being without legal repercussions. The great majority of times, you're going to have to deal with law enforcement after you work this knife on somebody. Probably not as much as I would think there is, as far as, let's say, total knife fights. Let's say all the knife fights that ever happened in the past year, how many of those were there no legal repercussions? Probably a pretty high percentage.
Because nobody reported them?
Because nobody wanted to report it.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. Nobody wanted to report it. The guy goes to the hospital. What happened to your arm, sir? I was filleting a fish and I dropped my knife. And just got 3 hacks here. And again, he may have legal repercussions because then they're going to call the police. The police are going to say what's happening. He's going to have to make a report. But the guy who cut him, you know, for self-defense purposes, is probably going to get away with it. You know, but again, you probably should call the police to get that situation handled.
Yeah.
Because you don't want this guy now going to the police and saying, yeah, guy in a gray sweatshirt, black shorts, tall, white dude, blue eyes, black shoes, cut me 3 times. I was just walking in my car. I mean, you want to be telling the police, this happened by my car, dark parking lot, 0 dark 30. You know, here's his blood. This is where it happened at. Mano Musashi and say, sir, you are not a master knife fighter.
Well, then he's
You
gonna challenge
can you can kill most people who have a samurai sword, who have fought with samurai swords their whole life, and you can kill them with just a stick in your hand. But you're not a master knife fighter.
Right.
Oh, please. Okay, nowadays are there many master knife fighters like that? No.
No.
You know, not that I know of. I mean, there might be one in Somalia somewhere, you know, some outpost like that, you know.
Yeah.
He just goes around knife fighting for his life. But that doesn't mean you have to be that to be a master knife fighter.
Right.
I mean, are there masters in karate? I mean, yes, you actually get a belt and you have the master level. And I've met some of these masters who, again, can't fight their way out of a paper sack when it comes to a real fight, or even karate point fighting. They just, you know, just can't do it.
They know how to teach. They're teachers.
But I would still, they've been given the title of master.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, could there be master knife fighters? Yes, they're all over the place. If you've worked at something and you have mastered a skill, you know, you're ready to roll.
Yeah.
The us no longer in possession of master skills, dead or in jail. I mean,
well, then that wasn't
do you have to go around having knife fight after knife fight after knife fight to be a master knife fighter?
No.
I mean, was Miyamoto Musashi a master knife fighter?
I would think he
A
was.
ninja who had, you know, like 100 knife fights and never died? You know? So yeah, obviously there is such a thing as a master knife fighter. I wouldn't go up to Miyamoto. Lie number 12, there is such a thing as a master knife fighter. I mean, what is a master knife fighter?
Someone who is better with knives than most other people.
That's what I would say. So yeah, if there would definitely be master knife fighters. This thing says here, if we knife fight enough with real knives, we'll either end up permanently disabled and thus